Welcome to another edition of PDL Techniques. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Jamboard. Jamboard is a digital whiteboard app that's available inside of your Google Drive. It gives you the ability to create and share content with your students. It also creates opportunities for students to collaborate with one another. There's a lot of cool things that you can do with Jamboard, so I want to walk you through a little bit of the basics of how this particular product works. So this is something that you can access inside of your Google Drive. So there's a couple of ways where you can get to it. When you're logged into your our district CMS Google account, you can click on the apps and you will see Jamboard listed down here at the bottom, and you'll be able to click on that to open Jamboard. You can also just go to jamboard.google.com and that will also get you into your Jamboard. So initially, when you get into your Jamboard, if you have any that you have created, you will see those listed there. But if you have not created one before, then you'll be able to go down here to this little circle with a plus sign where it's giving you the ability to create a new jam, which we're going to do. I'm going to start my brand new jam by clicking on that circle. And there is my new jam. Now you'll see some similar setup that you would see in any other kind of Google Doc. You'll notice at the top here, it'll say Untitled Jam. So if I want to give this particular one a title, I can just click here and give this a name. Okay, now that I've given this a name, you'll see down here I have this blank whiteboard where I can begin adding content inside of it. You'll notice here I have the ability to zoom. I can change the background. So if I don't want it to be a clear whiteboard, they do have some other features inside of here. So if I wanted it to be these squares or a grid or something like that, I can do that, or I can do this college rule lines if I want to make it look like that. So those are all some different options. I'm just going to leave mine as a clean canvas and with nothing on it. So, but just know that you can change the background there. But I'm also going to be showing you some other ways where you can modify what's in the background of your Jamboard as well. So you'll notice over here on the side, they have some features that are available inside of here that you can add to your Jamboard. You'll notice at the top here, they have an option here for a pen. You'll notice that when I'm on my Jamboard, when I click on the pen, you'll notice that my cursor becomes this little circle here. So I can start drawing or writing things here. There we go. And there that is. So now I have my, my math problem written inside of here. You'll notice a couple of things. Now just below it, I have an eraser. So if I want to get rid of some things, I can go down here and erase some of the content that's inside of here. You do have more options for the pen besides just this regular one. So if I go back here to the pen, when I click on it, you see I have that dot again. But if I click on it again, you'll notice now I have a few additional features. So instead of the pen, I have also a marker option. I have a highlighter and I have a brush. So I can pick and choose which one of those types of pen that I want to use. I can also change the color here if I want to. So if I wanted to use this blue color here, I can go here and use this marker style one. If I double click on here again, and maybe I want to change this one to be a different color, I can make that a different style here as well. So you can play with the color, you can play with the kind of marker or kind of pen that you have that's available to you. So that's always an option that you have inside of here. We also have this option, the selector option here. So the selector option, we're going to be showing that to you here in a little bit. But this is basically where you can take objects that you have inside of your whiteboard, and then you can move them anywhere you want on your whiteboard. Now, right now, I don't have any objects. All I have is annotations. I've just drawn, so I don't have anything that I'm going to be moving around, but I will here in a little bit. So in this case, I just have a basic math problem where I can have my students work this math problem out. Maybe I put this up here and I demonstrate this for them. I'm going to just do that really quick. Okay, so I have completed this math problem, and I can use this as an example for my students to see for themselves. And now they have a better idea of how to work out this, in this particular case, this 2-digit math problem. So this two-digit multiplication problem. And so now what I could do is I do have the ability to create additional slides within this board. So here's one board here. So now if I wanted to create an additional one, I can go over here and I can create a new frame. So I can click this one. And now maybe I do one where I say, now it's your turn. And I give them a brand new math problem. Once they get here to this particular problem, they can work this out on their own. So that's just one basic way where you can add some annotations and you can add a brand new frame. Now there's a couple other additional things that you can include on here as well. So one of the things that you'll see on here is a sticky note. So I can put a sticky note on here for my students. So you'll notice that when I click on here, my sticky note will appear like this, where I can type in whatever I want. And if I wanted to add maybe some additional information, maybe more instructions, maybe some guiding notes to help them complete this problem, I could do that. I could change the color of this sticky note if I wanted to, or if I just wanted to be something that just appeared on my whiteboard with no color on it at all. I could click that transparent option and choose that from there. So I'm just gonna leave mine as our blue, and then I can click save and get out of this one. And now there's my sticky note there, just telling them now it's your turn to work out this problem. And now they'd be able to go to this slide and work on this as well. Now I'm going to go over here and add an additional frame. So I'm going to go here and click create frame to add a brand new one. And I just want to use this to illustrate some of the other options that are available inside of Jamboard. So over here, you'll see we talked about the marker and the sticky note, but now you'll see underneath that I have some other options, including the ability to add an image. So I can click this option and you'll notice that it'll give me some options to insert images into my Jamboard. Now this will vary depending on the device that you have. So I'm using this from a laptop. If I was using this from a mobile device, I might see it might look a little differently. It might ask me or give me access to my camera roll, my phone, or tablet, whatever you're using. But in this case, I'm just using a laptop. So I'm seeing the options to upload something. So if I have something on my computer, I'd be able to do that. And I could pull things from my Google Drive as well. But for right now, I'm going to just use this Google image search. And I'm just going to search for an image inside of here to use for this particular one. So in this case, I'm just going to use a Venn diagram. And I'm going to pull one of these Venn diagrams into my picture, into my frame, excuse me. So I'm going to hit select. I'm going to insert this particular Venn diagram into my frame. And then now I can see, you'll notice now selected is my selector. And so now with my selector chosen, I can move this wherever I want to in my frame. Now you'll notice they have these little dots in the corner. When you hover over it, these dots will allow me to expand this. So if I want to make this larger, I certainly could do that. So I can keep dragging this. Maybe I might center this a little bit more and continue to move this around. Maybe what I'll do is I will put this up here in the top corner. And so now I have a Venn diagram here that I can use with my students. So maybe for an example, one of the things that I'm going to have my students do is do a compare and contrast of maybe some responses from characters, or maybe a reaction of two different characters to a similar situation. So what I can do is I can use this text feature that's available to me as well. So maybe I can click on this text option, and then you notice my cursor becomes that little eye, and I can click on anywhere on my Jamboard, and I can type in whatever text I want to. Okay, once you've got that typed in, you can drag this out to extend it, make it a little bit easier to read. If I wanted to, instead of doing this like this, I could have made this a sticky note, but I just wanted you to be able to see the text box in use. I'm going to do the text box one more time, and I'm going to just put it right here in the circle, and I'm going to just title this one Character 1. So now I have character 1. And what I'm going to do is you'll notice that when I have all these objects, they'll have this little more options or these 3 dots that when I click on it, I can edit them, I can duplicate them, delete, or it gives me to reorder them. So if I wanted them to be behind a picture or in front of a picture, I could do that. I'm just going to duplicate it. And now I have my other character. I'm going to put that one here. And I'm going to edit this one. I'm going to call this one character 2. Obviously, instead of character 1 and character 2, I would actually put the character's name there. And also just to mention this at the bottom, I don't want to forget this. They do have some options here where you can insert shapes as well. So if you wanted to include some shapes on here, you'll see right down here where the circle is. You can click on that, and then now I can draw. I'm just going to click and drag that circle, and now you see there it is. My circle is available there. I can fill that circle in with a different color if I want to, and now I have that in there. I can change the border of it. And now you can just play with that circle there to make it whatever you want to. And if I wanted to, I could click on my text to go inside of here to add text inside my circle. Now you're not limited to just circles. You can add other objects as well. So if I go back here to my circle and click on it again, now you see there's other shapes that I can add on here as well. So you could pick one of these and basically do the same thing, drag, fill the color with whatever you want to, and use this however you need to. Maybe you want to use this to talk to your students about shapes and finding perimeter and area, things of that nature. But those are just some ways where you could utilize those options, but the shape feature is there. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because I don't really need the circle in there, but I did want you to be able to see that that was there. And they also have a laser option here where it just helps the students to follow along as you're talking about it. So I can continue to do this and add more text or more frames on here for my students to do. If you wanted to see all of your frames, you can go up here. Instead of hitting the arrows, you can click on the submittal part, expanded frame bar, to see all the frames that you have. So if you wanted to continue to add more frames or put them in certain places, you can click on one of these circles with the plus sign to insert a frame at that particular location. But just know that that was there. Those are all options. So now the next thing that you can really add a really special component to this is your typical Google sharing options. It's that ability for collaboration to be a part of your lesson. And that's a really big part of the ways you can engage your students is by getting them involved and working together. So what you can do is we can click this share button. And now when I click the share button, now I can share this with my students. And so I'm just going to share this with just one other person. I'll share this with my CMS Learns account. I'm going to click send. And now I have made this available with a partner. And now we can work together on this particular frame. So one of the things you'll notice that once a new member has joined the frame, you've shared it with somebody, and then once they're in it, you'll see their a little icon here for that particular person to let you know that they're in the frame as well. So they'll be able to be in the whiteboard with you, and they'll be able to work with you in a collaborative manner. And so now the nice thing about this is it works just like any other Google document where you guys can work together. So as a student, now I'm not going to put anything special in here. I'm just going to draw something so you can see it. I can go inside the whiteboard, and I'm just going to enter something in here. And just draw a smiley face in there. And so now you see I'm on a different device. I'm actually on my phone where I can put something in here, and now my partner can see it in real time. And now we can work together to actually put some actual content, some actual comparisons in here, but we can do it in a collaborative way. Okay. Once you're done, you can always go up here. It's going to be saved inside of your Google Drive under Jamboard, so you can always access it. But just so you know, you can also go up here under More Actions, and then you can click up here. You'll see some different things where you can rename it. You can also download this as a PDF. You can save this as an image, make a copy. So you have all these different things that you can do with it. So if you wanted to have a version of this on your phone or on your desktop, that's a PDF version, you could do that, but just know that it's always going to be here on your Google Drive. So that is Jamboard, the free digital whiteboard app that is available inside of your Google Drive.